Hello, hi everyone. I can see a lot of people already joined us. I can see a lot of excitement running through the comment box already. We are equally excited. Thank you so much for joining us today. Very good evening to each one of you, and welcome everyone to the Hack2skills Tech Camp. Yet another one. And today's hands-on workshop and this overall boot camp is about building interactive chatbots with React JS and GPT APIs. So I can see a lot of excitement already building here for people out there. And yes, so you're going to get started really soon. So roll up your sleeves and code along as we build an interactive chatbots using React JS for creating dynamic and responsive user interfaces, and also GPT APIs harnessing the power of conversational AI technology from OpenAI, right? So we are going to be joined by our speaker today right here, and we're going to get started really soon. I see a lot of people, a lot of excitement. Keep that excitement boosted till the end, and if you feel free to put across any questions that you may have, and during the session, so we can pick up those questions really quick and resolve those, because this is a hands-on session. We have a lot of things aligned already for you to do, actually do hands-on, and get your rewards out of us, from us. And we have today with us our keynote speaker. This session focuses on the practical learning and the live coding itself, perfect for developers eager to enhance their skills in AI powered applications. And also, if you're a beginner and you want to start your career and look at how things work in the industry standpoint, this session can be the perfect match for you. So, without any further ado, what I'd like to do is I'd like to call our key speaker right here on screen, and maybe then we can go ahead. All right, so today we are delighted to have Kamal Walia leading today's workshop. Kamal is highly skilled developer with expertise in React JS, AI integration, and GPT API implementation. He's also a software engineer at American Express. So thank you so much, Kamal, for joining us today. It's wonderful to have you here. Kamal, you are on mute in case you're speaking.
Yeah, am I audible now, Shakti?
Yes, loud and clear. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you, Shakti, for the wonderful introduction. Happy to be here. Uh, so we are planning this for like I think from the last week of December. So it's finally here. So yeah, we can begin.
Great. Thank you so much, Kamal, for joining us today. And we're really excited. You can already see how the excitement is boosting in the comment section right here. People are excited to know and learn from you a lot. And we are, totally excited to see how the session goes, and we can, how people take it over. So without any wasting any more further time of ours, let's deep dive into today's session. So can we have Kamal's slide on screen, please? And then maybe Kamal can get started. Wonderful.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Over to you,
sure,
Kamal.
sure. Hi everyone. So as Shakti introduced me, like I'm a software engineer at Amex. As of now, I'm working on tech stack that includes Java, Spring Boot, and React.js. Prior to this, I'm into like mobile applications using React Native. But now majorly I focus on like backend using Java, Spring Boot, and then for the UI part, I use React.js. So in today's session, what we're gonna do is like we'll first get the very basics of React.js, okay, and then we'll just move on to our hands-on section, okay. So we can start. So So basic prerequisites that you should have by now, like is like you should have a knowledge of, as I know most of you are like college students, so you should know like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. These are like basic requirements like to learn uh, about React.js. Okay, And the main requirement here is the JavaScript itself. So if you know JavaScript very good, then React.js is like a piece of cake for you. Okay, so because any UI frameworks or libraries that are there in the market today are like heavily based on like JavaScript, because JavaScript is the language of which browser understands. Okay, so and then one of the prerequisites is like you should know the basics of Git, like how you can create the repository and how you can what is like SVM, how versions are managed, how you can commit your code and see different versions. And then you should have, as now we will be doing not plain HTML JavaScript, right? We will be using React.js. So you should have a knowledge of package management tool, NPM or PNPM or Yarn, any of one of them. Okay, because we will be installing certain libraries in our project, because we don't want to like reinvent the wheel every time. That I want to create this particular carousel. I will be doing it from scratch. No, we can use other people's libraries that are open source. So that's why we need the package management. And to install the React itself, we need the npm. Okay. So for npm, we need the knowledge of Node.js as well. So Node.js is like it's like a runtime engine that allows JavaScript like to function on a computer instead of like a browser. Okay, so, and because of Node.js, we can now do like the development of backend in JavaScript as well. Earlier, JavaScript is just used to develop dynamic content for the web. Okay, so I hope all of you have installed Node.js and npm on your systems, and you have Visual like any code editor. I prefer for this particular session the Visual Studio Code. It's free and it's open source. Okay, so we can go ahead. Okay. So we'll be learning about like the React and basic React JSX structure, how to basically install React on your system and how you can create a project, and then you can apply styles on a React component and how you can create a React component. We will be learning that. Okay. Okay. So as I said, like React is also like an open source front end library. Okay, so it is developed by Facebook, and using React, like we whatever we do is we do using the JSX. Okay, so JSX is like short for JavaScript XML, and it follows the XML, you can say it follows the XML standard. So each like if you are writing a component, so there should be a parent tag, and then within that particular parent tag, other tags can exist. You cannot have like siblings in like one component like parallelly. They should have a one parent tag. Okay, so we'll see what I'm talking about when we do the hands-on. Okay, and the JSX will be used to create our React components. So as if you know HTML, we have certain tags like paragraph tag, we have bold tag, we have div tag, right? So here now we are creating our own component, so we will be able to name them. Okay, and we will be using these basic tags, HTML tags, but then our component will be a specific component. For example, if we are creating a cart, we can name it cart, and then we will be using this basic HTML building blocks to create our component. Okay, so JSX, why we are using JSX? So we can have the extension JS as well, but then there is a process that I will discuss in the next slide uh, that will transpile all the code that you have written, whether it's in JSX or JS, to like plain vanilla JavaScript, because eventually it has to run on a browser. Okay, so JavaScript extension allows us to combine JavaScript and HTML in one file. Okay, and then it allows for like faster development. We don't have to create a separate .js file for our logic, and then a JSX file for our UI. Okay, or like a HTML file for our UI. So we can use JSX that will allow us to have both HTML and JavaScript in the same file. Okay, and JSX follows the XML rules. As I said, like all elements must be placed inside one parent element, and all elements must be closed. Okay, so if we have opened an element, we have to close that as well. So this is what I was talking about, the process. So browsers do not natively support JSX. JSX must be converted into plain HTML and plain JavaScript through the build process, and we have like several tools exist in the market to do this. Okay, that will come as a part of your React installation or your React Next.js installation, right? So these include White, Webpack, and Snowpack. So majorly in industry we use Webpack. Okay, so let's just see this. So this can look a bit complicated for like beginners, but in a nutshell, what we are doing is we have written our components in JSX, okay, that have HTML and JS combined in one file, and then we have a Babel transpiler. What it is doing is it is basically uh, converting all the text that we have written to something that browser can understand and display on the web page. Okay, and it will give me an output which is a bundle.js file that the browser can understand, and browser will run this bundle.js whenever someone hits our website. Okay. Okay. So so React is heavily based on like components. So whenever we talk about like anything we want to create in React, we talk about components. Okay, so in React we don't do development like we started creating a page and then the whole code or like whole code base is in like one big file. We talk about like creating smaller granular components that can be reused. Okay, so for example, if we are creating a like a e-commerce website, we will be like thinking about, okay, there will be a cart component. The cart component itself can have like multiple components inside. So for example, the notification icon that shows like on in your cart you have this many items, so these can be individual components. So we divide our UI into multiple components, right? So and then there can be a product list component that is a list, and that can have individual product component inside it. Okay, so we create one product component. We think in such general way that this particular product component we can be used to show any kind of product. Okay, so we create once and then we use multiple times. So this is like basic funda of React.js. Okay, so let's like start with our hands-on now. So okay, so I'm going to switch my screen to my Visual Studio Code. Um, I hope Visual Studio Code is visible. Can anyone confirm, Shakti? Hello? Okay. Okay. So we first have to like install the Next.js. Okay. Uh, so I believe as part of prerequisites that we have shared, all of you have like Node.js installed. Okay, right? So if everyone has Node.js installed, what they can do is like they can install the Next.js using npm, right? So I'm gonna show that particular command here, but I already have the Next.js, so people can just use this particular command to install Next.js. Let me write in a file. Okay, so it will be npx create next app @latest. So we are trying to with this @latest flag, we are saying that we want to get the latest Next.js app version. Once you run this particular command, it will ask you to, if you don't have Next.js already, it will ask you to install the Next.js, and then from there it will ask you about your project details. Okay, the name of the project that you want to give. So let me run this as well. Okay. I'm gonna open a folder. Okay, so okay, so it is asking me to install the following packages. That is create next app. I will give Y, and then it is asking me a project name. So we'll say uh, simple chatbot for now. So we will be using JavaScript for this session because TypeScript has its own learning curve. So we will be you stick to JavaScript for this session. We can use ESLint. We don't want Tailwind CSS as of now because as I said, because these are like different topics that will take time to learn. So we will use this the normal CSS, and we want to have a SRC directory, and we just make all these as default. Okay. Now what is happening is like it is installing the dependencies React DOM and Next that we needed in our project, and also the ESLint. So ESLint is nothing but it will give you sort of suggestions or tells you if there is an error when you are writing. Basically, it lints your code. So, yeah. So if you see, there should be one folder now created for us that is simple chatbot. So let me just open this folder instead of the whole uh, projects folder. So projects, chatbot. Okay. So now we can discuss about what all files we have here. Okay, and then we'll start like just creating our chatbot. Okay. So we see a bunch of files and folders already created for us. Okay, we'll start from the first one. So the first one says node modules. These are basically what all modules or what all libraries that you have installed in this particular project. It contains all those files, right? And from where this node modules get installed. So this installed using the package.shin file. Okay, when we are using that create next app command, so it basically populated it created a package.json file and provided the name that we have provided, and then it mentions all the libraries that we need. Okay, react dom and next and then we have these dependencies as well, and then in all these dependencies also have like their own dependencies. Okay, so all of them all these dependencies get installed in our local inside the node modules. Okay, and then we have a public folder. So this is basically anything in your web page that needs to be public, that the public can access, will be in the public folder. Okay, uh, so it will contain all the images and all the favicon icons or the css that you want to be public. So all that will be in the public folder, and then we have the source. So this is right now empty. We will create our component inside the source folder, and then we have discussed about the favicon layout. Layout is something regarding our page layout. So this is a new in Next.js. We don't get if I have used create React app to create this particular project, then we will not be having this layout. So this is basically just saying like this will be our root layout, like the main layout, and then within this our project will exist. Okay, uh, and this is the page.js. So we will be updating this page.js. Okay, when I run this particular project, we will be seeing the content that is displayed on the browser is coming from this page.js. Okay, and then it has its own css file that is page.module.css, and then we have a git ignore file. So if you are familiar with git, so git ignore, what it does is basically whenever we do a commit and push, and it will basically in my source control, all the files that I have changed, it will not be showing all those files that are part of gitignore. Okay, so node modules, it is a, like a derived thing. Okay, it can be come whenever we do npmi or npmi or yarn it can generate the node modules from package.json file. So we don't need to push this to GitHub. Okay, so any files that we don't need to push to the GitHub are mentioned here. And this git ignore is particularly coming from the Next.js template that we are using. Okay, we can add more files to it as and when necessary. Then we have ESLint config, JS config, and Next.js config. We don't be touching these for now, so we can just focus on like our application for now. So okay, so if you want to like run this particular application, what we have to do is we can just do npm run dev. So from where did I get this particular command npm run dev? It's mentioned in the package.json. Okay, so it says script whenever I run dev command, it will be running this particular command. Okay, whenever I say npm run build, it will run this particular command. Okay, so let's see with the npm run dev, and it started the server. And I think I need to share my like full screen now. Because one second. I think now my full screen is visible, right? Let me just this here. Okay, my full screen is visible, right? Okay. So we are saying like this particular content already inside our application. So from where this is coming from, it's coming from page.js. So we can let's edit that page.js file. So I'm gonna remove everything from here. We'll just have this parent div. Okay, and then just to show you all that all the content is coming from here, we will create a simple hello world component. Then yes, we can see our hello world is printing on our screen. And why this is like in center, in top in center, because we are having some styles here with this particular class. If I remove this, it will just appear like if you create a HTML page with a div with hello world. Okay. Okay. So now we can start with the actual chatbot implementation. We have covered the basics, so how we can create components and all those. For now, we don't need all these. Okay, so the simple component in React will look like this. So we are, and this is like a functional component. So in React, we have like two types of component: class components and functional components. So class components are like people started using class component less and less nowadays, because functional components does not have all the overheads that a class component has. For example, class components has a lifecycle method, whereas with our functional component we don't have those lifecycle methods. We can mimic if we want to like mimic any kind of lifecycle method. We can mimic using like hooks. Okay, so functional components have less clutter, so that's why industry switched started using more and more functional components instead of class components. Okay, but that will be like me going into too much details of React.js, but and then we are forgetting about that we want to create a chatbot here. Okay, so I'm going to focus on that. So this is like a simple component in React.js will look like. It's a function. Okay, so we have a name for this particular component. This is a component name, and if I hover over this, it says jsx.element. Okay, and this file name is JS. I can rename it to JSX. It will still work. Okay, as I said, JS or JSX, it will not matter because the Babel will convert all these files to HTML and JS in the end, because browser can only understand that. Okay, so this is our component name, and then we are returning our UI from this particular component. Okay, our UI is between this parent, one parent tag, and within this parent tag we can have multiple components. Okay, so that's all for the basics. Now let's jump over to our chatbot. So I will be installing two libraries, okay, that we need. One is the OpenAI, and the second one is the Chatbot UI, okay, because we can create our own Chatbot UI, but for this session, let's use already created like Chatbot UI for us, and then we can pass messages to us. Okay, but you can be as creative as you want. You can create your own Chatbot UI. You can design your page as you want. Okay, but in this session we will be focusing on the functionality, not the UI part. Okay, so npm I OpenAI. So we have done this, and then these are the commands. So I will be sharing these in the chat. I'm not sure YouTube will pick that up, but I can zoom this. Okay, no. So first we have done this npx create react app latest, and then now we have run this particular command. Our next command to run and install the React Chatbot Kit. This will give us a basic UI for our chatbot to function. Okay, and these commands we will be using after when we want to deploy our application. Okay, so keep this here. Okay, and then we can confirm that these packages got installed using by seeing our package.json file, and we can see that in the dependencies we have two new dependencies added. One is this OpenAI and one is this React Chatbot Kit. And if we check our changes as well, so it says we have installed this particular library, and then we have this one also. Okay, and this is just like it. This is just like that linting thing. So it moved the Next.js upside. No change there, but we have only installed this one and this one. Okay, this is about the package.json. Then let's move back to our page, and then within our app, we now be creating some components. I created one folder called components, and within my components folder, I will be creating our chatbot component. Okay, so new file, and then we'll say chatbot.js, and then this particular component will have the UI for our chatbot. Okay, so let's do this. So import chatbot from React Chatbot Kit, because I said for the UI part we will be using like pre-created chatbot UI for us. Right? So we'll be using this chatbot from React Chatbot Kit, and then we will have to uh, get the CSS for this as well. So we will be importing that. So React Chatbot Kit slash build slash source, and then within source we have, or in build we have main.css. These two for now, and then let's create our function. So in the page.js file, you are seeing this function is already created by Next.js application template. Okay, so this is one kind of function in JavaScript that you all people know, but then there is another kind of function that is like arrow functions. We can create using both. Okay, I can use this same function as well, or I can just say const chatbot, and then I can use this arrow function. Okay, both will work the same way. Okay, and then in here I will be returning my UI for the chatbot. Okay, and let's test this first. So for now, I just gonna be having a p tag here. That will say, and this return is a function, not okay. And then I'll say export default chat. So you see here the export default is within here, but we can do this in the last line itself. Okay, so I can import my chatbot here. Import chatbot from component slash chatbot from where we have created this, and then if you want to use this, we will be using this like that. Okay, let's see if this is running. So what is localhost? It's running on 3000. Yeah, so you see Kamal here, right? Okay, okay, now we can continue. Okay, we have created our like basic like another component, but this is not the component that we want. We want a chatbot looking like component. So I can remove this, and instead this we'll use the chatbot that we have imported. Okay, and we will be passing certain things in this. Okay, and let's rename this component because this is messing with this component. So let's say what you can this chat component, and then rename this file as well. Chat component, and yeah, I think we're good. Okay, let's have a basic div here. Okay, let's see. Chatbot is not defined. 1 second. Oh, capital. Hmm. Okay, yeah. For this, what we need to do is we have to say as this like a client component, so cannot render there, so we have to say here. So because Next.js is like a server, like it renders component on server side. Previously with React.js or Create React app, what happens is like all the UI gets rendered on the browser. But with Next.js, you have the option to render your component on server side. Okay, but for this session to be like simple, we will be using like use client option here, so that we are saying like render this particular component on the UI side. Okay, browser side. Okay, we have our chatbot something looking like that. So I think you forgot. So we will be passing some more information to our chatbot so that it will not say like this, oops, something is missing. Okay, now let's update our code. Okay, so we have a chatbot, and then let's create a new file inside our app, that is action provider.js. We will be using OpenAI here, so the library that we have installed. Okay, from OpenAI, right? And I believe this is okay. And Not sure if you people. So before that, I want to request all of you to go to this particular website. Can share this here. So it's this AIML API.com. So www.aiml.api.com. You should go to this particular website and create an account for you. Okay, you can use Google to sign up, and once you have signed up, you should be uh, you should be once you're completed the sign up, you should see this particular page. Okay, and from this particular page, what we have to do is we have to go to key management, and then we have to create one key. Okay, for us, I have already created one key. Right now this is disabled, okay, because of this session, because if we use this key multiple times, it will incur some cost, or it will not work because it has limitations, because we are not we are using a free version. Okay, I'll make this enable to show the demo, and then I will disable this again. So you have to what you have to do is you have to create a API key, and it will create a API key for you. Okay, so I'm gonna disable this one as well. Okay, so once we have the API key, we will be needing this in our action provider component. Okay, okay, so let's work on our action provider component. So we will be having OpenAI equal to new OpenAI, and this is also capital, and then we will be calling this with our function, and we'll be passing API key, and let me use the API key that I have. And then we'll say base URL. So this will be the URL for our AI AIML website. Okay, so in the documentation, I'm going to share you directly, but if you read the documentation, this will be the URL where my OpenAI client would hit to get the response from the AI. Okay, so it will be HTTPS. All this code that I'm doing will be hosted to GitHub. So if you want to uh, like after this session, if you want to see, you can check that particular repo. I will share with the organizers. API.aiml api.com, and then there is one more parameter that we have to give. I think I have made a note to the organizer. So as we are using use client, and this component will be gonna render on the UI. So it is not safe that your UI should have a API key. The correct way to do this is you call your backend API, and your backend API calls the OpenAI, and then gives you the response back. Okay, but to make this work on browser, we have to pass one tag, that is dangerously allow browser to true. Okay, so that it can work on the browsers as well without the need of backend. Okay, so so we have created a you can say here we are created a connection with the OpenAI, and then we will be using this particular connection to send our queries and get the response. Okay, so I'll be using a class component here. Okay, so so that you get familiar with both type of component. We have created one functional component. We are now creating a class component. So it's good. Okay, and then and basically this is not a component. So if this is a component, I have to write extends React. Okay, but this is React.component. So but we don't want to create a component. I'm just creating a simple JS class here because this will be having only the functionality of our uh, action provider, basically that sends the query and gets the response. Okay, so here let's work on this. So we have our action provider. In this, we will be having certain functions. Okay, we can skip this part. I can start with here itself. So call GenAI. This is one function inside my action provider class. This function will be used to like call our API, that is AIML API.com web service. Okay, and this will take a prompt. Okay, so prompt whatever the user is typing on the chatbot, it will take that particular prompt. Okay, and then say counts chat completion equal to wait OpenAI dot. We will be having chat dot completions dot create. So is inside the OpenAI object. We have chat inside that. We have completions. We have create option, create function. In that particular create function, we will be mentioning what type of model that we want to use. Okay. So all these models are listed for you. So you can choose which model you want to use. So for this particular exercise, I'm using 3.5 turbo. You can use the latest 4 model as well. Okay. And then we'll provide the messages. So messages is an array. So we can provide a multiple uh, that we can provide multiple things to this particular chatbot. So how we want to behave this, how we want this chatbot to behave whenever there is a prompt. Okay. So we can mention the role of this particular chatbot. So you remember like Chat GPT or any like any open source Gen API, Gen AI, basically it can do a variety of tasks. But when we are using the API, we can basically modify that particular uh, GPT engine to basically do only one thing. Okay, so in this case, for example, we are creating we are creating a chatbot. Let's say that will advise users which credit card to apply for. Okay, so for example, a user says recommend me a travel card, and it will recommend a travel card. Okay, so and it by providing this role, what we are doing is, so if user provides something else, the GPT engine will not give like accurate answers because we want this particular bot to be made for a specific problem. Okay, if you want it to be like general, then in the market all the general bots already exist. But still, if we want, then we will not be giving the role to it. Okay, so first is the system role. The system, like what is this particular system is doing is, we can say that you are a credit card advisor, and we can be as specific as we can in this for the India market. Say, okay. And then we can give uh, the role of the user. Okay, what the user will be doing, whatever user has typed. Okay, we are getting that in the prompt, and that prompt we have shared to our GPT 3.5 turbo model. Okay, these will be my messages. Okay, so we mentioned what the system is. Okay, what the chatbot will do, and then we can provide the temperature. So if all of you know about like GenAI, so temperature is basically we are saying how creative we want our GenAI to be. Okay, So it has a different range of values. So right now I have given 0.5. That means like moderately I want it to be creative. Don't get too much creative, okay? Or don't give exact answer. Be creative, but like very moderate, okay? So this handles the creativity of the GenAI response, okay? And then there is the concept of max tokens. So it is basically how many tokens my query will be get divided into, okay? So for now, I am taking just 50. So all this is part of your GenAI course. So when you learn about GenAI, you will be able to understand these terms more, like what is temperature, what is tokens, how my query or my prompt is gets divided into certain tokens, and then we form a relation between them. So you will be able to learn all this when you do like a starter foundational GenAI course. Okay. So for now, we have given like this temperature to be moderate 0.5, and then we are saying max token, whatever the user's prompt is, like just create 50 tokens out of it. Okay, then this is complete. Then we have our return statement in this that will say that chat completion, that the variable that we created here. Okay, dot, and then within this we want choices, what all response it has send us. Okay, this is the array of responses. For simplicity, we are using the first response that the model has sent us, and then its message and its content. Okay, so this is our call GenAI function, and then let's create our another function, generate response messages. Let me link this particular file as well. Okay, so const response from GPT equal to our function. So this async await is also a concept of JavaScript. So basically we are saying like, as JavaScript is a single thread language, we are saying to wait for this call to complete, right? And then do anything. So call GenAI, and then within this we pass in the user message. This will also get a user message. Okay, and then this is me just formatting that particular message so that it looks like conversational, like the chatbot is creating a response. So this is more like UI thing that I will do now. So I don't want the message to be like printed in one go. I want it to become line by line, so it looks more natural. Okay, so at number of line equal to response from GPT dot split, and then I'll be splitting based on, and this slash n is your like character for a line break. So I am splitting all the line breaks and counting the length. Okay, so I go to I plus plus, and then we will be sending back our response. Const message response from GPD split by n, and then that particular content, and then if we have something in this message, we're gonna return this message dot. We'll create another function. So let's first create that particular function only. So this will be passed to us. Okay. This dot we'll say create chatbot message. This will be coming from the OpenAI, not OpenAI, the React Chatbot Kit. Okay, so this will be coming from there. So once this is done, we'll say this dot update chatbot message with our message. Okay, and then to make it look like more natural, I'm also gonna create another function that it is taking it is reading the query and generating the like response with some delay. So I'll be creating like a timer function. So all of this is mostly what you can say UI part. Okay, we are UX part. Basically, we want the user to think that our chatbot is not giving the reply in one time, but it is thinking and then replying one by one. Okay, so we'll say time ms. We'll take multi-seconds and then we'll say we don't need this. This is one line function. So new promise. So this promise is also like an concept in React for uh, like similar to async await. We have promises as well. So this will create like a new promise, and then whenever this promise gets fulfilled, we will get a response back. Okay, so I have told you this in like very layman language, but you can read about this. Then we are using set timeout and the ms. Okay, and then we will be using this timer 1000 and then yep. So wait for 1 second to print out the next line. This is what we have done here. Okay. Okay, and then let's create other functions. This short generate messages. Then it will take the message. Update chatbot message is this one. And it will take the message. And then it will update my class state. Okay. So whatever is my previous state, and I'm gonna use that previous state and then update new messages into that. So previous state dot messages and then the new message. Okay, this dot state previous state messages. So what I'm doing here is So what I'm doing here is like there can be like multiple line response. So we are saying like what all messages there are previously, append a new message to that my list of messages. Okay, so this is update chatbot message. We have respond that will call the generate response method, and then there is one thing missing, that is create chatbot message. Yeah, so this will be coming from here, from our constructor. Let's say constructor, and then within that we will be having this method create chatbot message set state function and what all we need a client. So when you learn about like when you go to this React Chatbot Kit, you will learn all the steps that I am doing here. This is needed for this particular components UI that we are using. If you are creating your own chatbot UI, then obviously you don't need like all this, but you just need to call the Gen API and give back the response. Okay. So I have a set function, create client message function, and what all functions are needed there. We need a state ref. So all this like boilerplate code that I'm writing as of now. Create custom message is one. So with all these and then whatever rest we are getting. So we have all this and then again, so we have all this in our constructor. What else is missing? Binding is missing. So we'll say this dot create chatbot message equal to create chatbot message. And then this dot set state equal to set state function. This dot create client message equal to create client message. This dot state ref equal to state ref. This dot create custom message equal to create custom message. Okay, this is done. And let's declare our variables. So we have this one. We should have a state. We should have this one. Create client message. We should have a state ref. And finally our custom. And then export default action provider. Okay, so I'll come back to this file again to like show you what all we have done here. But I'm seeing the time limit, so I'm going to be quick now. So we have this. We need to create one more file for our message to parse our messages that we get from the ChatGPT. Message parser.js message parser, and then within this we have constructor, and then constructor we will have our action provider. We need to import this. Okay, we'll get this one, and then we will be having the state, and then we can say this dot action provider equal to the action provider that we get. This dot state equal to the state. Parse will be our function to parse the message. It will receive a message, and then it will say this dot action provider dot respond whatever message we have received. So we have message parser class. Let's export this as well. And then what we are missing. So I think we have all the basic components. Now we just need to import and pass to our chatbot. So there is one more thing that is missing. Our configuration is also missing. So one more file. Const config. This will be our like configuration for our UI. Okay, we have done the configuration for our action provider, that is providing us the facility so that we can pass a message and get a response. But this particular config is for the UI. So and the how we want our chat window to appear. So it's the configuration for that. So let's first import, create chatbot message from React, and then const config equal to bot name equal to call advisor. We can give this like any name, okay, whatever our bot name is, okay, and then for simplicity, I'm not doing a lot of configuration, but we'll just do very basic minimal configuration. So I'll say initial init, okay, create chatbot message, and then within that, hello, I am second, hello, I am credit card advisor. How can I help you? So this is like the initial message that my bot will show whenever the user opens the chat window. Okay, so export default config, and then we provide this config here. So you see, we have imported this component config from here, and then we will be importing other things as well. Okay, so here we have. So action provider, we have created our own action provider, that is this one. Message parser, we have message parser here, and yeah, that's it. Okay. It's saying module not found. Import chatbot. Where is this? Pages. One second. So where is our chat component? Export default home. This is home. Okay. This is not chat component now. This is can't resolve. One second. So This is inside components, and then chat component. Message parser should be outside. Mm, Once again, let's fix these errors one by one. So this is coming from my chat component. Then message parser. I think need to, yeah, it's compiled. We are seeing old errors. Okay, so let's go back to our UI. Okay, config must contain a property initial message and it's expected to be array. Okay, I think we have given array only. Initial, it's like initial messages. Messages, then to UI. Yep. Okay, so we are seeing this conversation with card advisor. This card advisor is coming from the config in which we have given the name card advisor, and we can change this letter as well, and we can have a different image as well. Okay, that is all part of configuration of React Chatbot Kit, and then we have our message here. There is one more error. Internal React error, please contact team. This is related to us. Okay, yeah. So let me open the network tab as well. So let me write a query. Suggest zoom this out. Me a card for travel. Okay, we get certain errors. Let's see. Call GenAI is not a function. Okay, let's fix this. Send this. Mhm. This dot GenAI because we are in a class. Let's go back here. Let's copy this. Refresh. Okay, we see a 400 response here unauthorized. Okay, that is because my this key is disabled as of now. I have enabled it, and then let's do this again. Suggest me a card for travel. It should complete now. Okay, it has given me the response, but we are not printing the response. Some error. So let's see what we are missing. So we see generate a response message. Create chatbot message, set state, create client message, set ref, create client. We have combined all this with our functions, and then we have the GenAI. It is giving us the correct response. we have a timer function that takes a timer. This is also working fine. Response from GPT. Await. This dot call GenAI the user message. We get the message. We get the number of lines. We try to split it using the /n, and we call the create chatbot message and update the message. We respond as well. This start set state, previous state messages, message. Let's see if we are getting message here. I think we have done this wrong. So this will be our message. Let's go to the browser. This dot call is not a function. What? 1 second. This is 2 times. Yep, we now get the response. Okay, so we are like our chatbot is giving us response for travel benefits in India. I recommend considering HDFC Regalia card. We can ask him another question. So suggest me an Amex card, something like that. So you see that it is trying to like show me 3 dots that it is like thinking. That is because of the timer function that we have, like the delay. So now it's saying like for customers in India, I will recommend the American Express membership rewards card. Okay. So this is like our like very basic chatbot is like now complete. We can ask this particular chatbot questions regarding credit card, and if we change our configuration here, that the system, if we change this particular system to a different, like for example, like a recipe master. So like you are a like a creative chatbot that generates creative recipes, and then we give a prompt like for example user gives a prompt for like a particular dish, and then it will return the recipe for that particular dish. So and then we can tweak the creativeness using the temperature, like how you want your particular chatbot to respond. So this will be handled by the temperature, and if you want to control the UI, all those configuration will go here. So we can add multiple things here. So to enhance this UI that we have here. Okay. So if you want a different image instead of this letter B here, you can have a different image. You can change the color theme and all those. And if you are creating your own UI for this particular window, then you can customize everything. Okay. So if I show you React Chatbot, get all the configuration that I did, so you don't have to worry. So the main function here in this action provider is our call GenAI, and then the configuration that we did for the OpenAI, we passed the API key and the URL which we want the OpenAI to hit and get us the response, and then this particular function. This is only the custom thing that we have done. Other than that, all the things you will be able to find in this particular documentation. This is like a well documented library. So it can also appear like show you these kinds of images and all those. So it's up to you to customize this particular chatbot. But this is me like telling you all what it takes to create a chatbot. using React and AI/ML API. Okay, so I guess we have done now. So we have covered all this. Okay, yeah, Shakti, from my side, like we are done. Do
Great. Thank you so much, Kamal. It was a wonderful session. I see a lot of people really excited. A couple of questions that we would want to push across to your table, and maybe if you can help us answer those before we actually move to the next phase of announcements. So,
okay.
this is very generic, I believe, but would be great if you can help us answer those. So Amitesh Singh has asked a very good question. It's on your screen as well. So can we use Next.js so that if we want to scale our web app in future, we can add backend seamless using Next.js?
Yes, Amitesh, you can use Next.js.
Yeah, I hope Amitesh that answers to your question. And I'll just also pull in a quick question because we ran out of time and we are.
Yeah, I was not hoping to do a presentation, but then I thought let's give a
Great. So,
feedback.
Shiva Subramaniam has asked, we should be using OpenAI API keys for, GPT 3.5, right, to access the GPT API instead of API ML API keys here. So, is that something that you would recommend, or what are your views?
Yes, Romanium. So you can use any kind of that is open source, any library. You just have to provide the URL for that particular API and the API key. I am using the AIML website to get like a host of models from that, because for example, if you are using a chat gpt api, then you are restricted yourself to use only chat gpt. But with AIML, we have multiple models, like from Hugging Face as well, like different kind of models. Instead of gpt, if I want to use another model, bert or some other model, should be able to use that as well. So that's why I used AIML api key. But you are good to like just use the gpt one.
Great, wonderful. Thank you so much for answering that. I hope those clears everybody's doubt. So Amitesh, we'll just gonna make announcements about that. But thank you so much, Kamal, for joining us and for this quick session right here.
One more
And
thing
yeah,
that is like missed from my end, I think. So to like deploy this particular application, let me just quickly show you like what you have to do. Right. So you just need to create an account on Vercel. So this is like I think. Let me share this here. So one need to create an account on Vercel.com, and then you can use the GitHub to create an account. And when you use the GitHub to create an account, it will automatically ask you to link all the repositories that you have, or choose the repositories that you want to link. Once you link those particular repositories, the Vercel will do its changes in those repos so that it will be showed like here. And then the last commit, it will try to deploy the last commit automatically. You don't have to do anything. And when you want to do this like by on your own, you can basically go to deployments, and then you can basically say redeploy. Okay, and it will then give you a domain name as well, so you can showcase your work. So whatever we have developed today is already available here. So this is already done, and I have deployed this. So any doubts regarding this Vercel deployment, if you face, it's pretty simple. You just have to go step by step. If still you face, then I think you all can reach me on LinkedIn. You can search me. Uh, I'll be happy to help. Yes, Shakti, we can continue now.
wonderful. Thank you so much, Kamal, for adding that up. Just pull off this from the screen. Great, thank you so much, and wonderful having you here with us. We will take forward the application and maybe circle those to you as well. But thank you for investing your time here and helping us understand more about React.js and GPT APIs. So, yeah, thank you. If you want to add something more, regardless, or else we can switch to the next phase of the announcements.
I just wanted to add like this. This whole session is like very difficult to like have in like one go, because we want to learn about generative AI, how different parameters are there to call the particular GPT API, and then to discuss all about, and then also to discuss about React. So if uh, I'm not sure I'm able to do the justice with the topic within 1 hour, but like I will be happy to help. Like if you can reach me out, and then you can ask your questions. But I think we all have learned something here today. So that's it, Shakti.
Great. Thank you so much, Kamal. Moving to the next phase of the announcement for the contest that we have for everybody right here. Can we have the slides on the screen, please? All right, so we have a social contest live for everybody right here. So you can just go to Hack2skill's LinkedIn page, and there is a post already done about this session. So what you're gonna do is you just have to repost it with your thoughts. So with simply answering to this question that you see on the screen, an email will also be floated across to you post the session, so that you all are aligned and what is to be done. You can have those information in precise, but just answer to this simple question: if you could name your own chatbot, what would it be, and what would its functionality look like? Right? What would be your dream chatbot? So do that. Tag hack2skill.com. Use these hashtags. We are going to give out some lucky goodies, exclusive goodies of Hack2skills to those winners of engagement from this contest itself. So make sure you do that. Check out your emails post this session. Don't forget about it. Apart from this, you need to submit your deployed chatbots, and these are the submission fields. You need to go to the same page on which you registered for the Hack to Skill Tech Camp itself. Submit your deployed live project link. Give us a brief description about the submission and your chatbot. Also share the code link and the GitHub links wheresoever you have posted the code, so that we can have access to it. We can evaluate those, and also recognize, or at least give out some prizes to the winners and the best submissions. So Kamal will also help us do that. He'll also look into some submissions personally, but the deadline to do that is 23rd of Jan, end of the day. So make sure you are aligned to the deadline. The deadline for the contest is 22nd, and the deadline for the submission is 23rd. So make sure you are participating in each and everything, and making the most out of this overall tech camp itself. It was amazing having each one of you here. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I wish you all the very best, right? And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Kamal. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
the entire team who has joined us here in the back end. And I wish everybody all the best, and look forward to your submissions and your creative ideas. Thank you. Cheers.
Yeah. Shakti, one more thing. So that notebook looks cool. I have also reposted. Will I also get?
For sure. We'll send across everything. Not a problem.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Great. Cheers, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you.